welcome. That's our 5 seconds of welcome. It is Tuesday, June 30th, and unlike, well, let's it's Tuesday, June 30th. It's around 8:32 Eastern Standard Time. I'm coming to you as the last rays of the sun leave the sky, and my battery begins to die. How poetic. Haven't done a live stream since last Wednesday, I think. June has definitely been our most challenging month, I think, to get live streams done. Well, not counting Passover time in April, but hitting those three a week have been a real struggle in June, and June is over. June, we just had our last business day of June. Do not have the brain power to fully explain how I didn't have time to go over the new books, but we've got about a dozen new books and about 3 books that we only had in stock for a day or two back in stock, which we will look at tomorrow when we look at all the new comics. So many new one-shots and number ones, by the way. So many new one-shots and number ones. I'm happy to report halfway into the year 2026 that 2026 is the best year we have had in at least 3 years. I'd have to go and go farther back to do more checking. It may be one of the best years since like 2020. And the only reason 2020 was such a good year for us is our expenses went down tremendously. Our landlord cut our rent because of the pandemic. Our electricity bills went down immensely. That's the only thing that makes 2020 such a success, which is, if you recall, that's when we started this live stream. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for all the celebration. I'm glad you're here to hear it. But unfortunately, the reason I only say that it's maybe the last 3 years is our expenses have gone up tremendously. We are buying so many more single issues, and we are drowning in the remainder. Now, we're still making profit overall on those because of all the bundles, Marvel bundles. Vault has been doing bundles. Marvel's been doing extra discounts if you buy a certain number. So we're still profiting on the single issues, but we are definitely sitting on more single issues. So, as you know, we announced we're doing a live in July, our big July sale every week in July. Something's going to be discounted. So the first week is going to be our used books, in store only. All used books are $5 or less, except for the rare book collection. But all the $30 books that are $15, nope, they're $5. All the $20 books that are $10, nope, they're $5. So those are $5, July 5th through July 10th, and then the following week, I just haven't decided yet if our manga is going to be on sale next or our single issues. Some level of single issues are going to be heavily discounted in the Alive in July sale because of how much they have piled up. The Forbidden Tombs, $5. So that's been something. June has also been significantly busy in times I didn't expect it to be busy. Take, for example, today. Today the thermometer almost hit 90. Tomorrow it's going to hit high 90s, the day after 100, so it's going to be very hot. But today it almost hit 90, and I had expected us to be kind of slow at the store, and we were not. We were fairly busy. I did still get a lot of work done. Tirza got a lot of work done. She was in. This is one of her days working at the shop. She got the genres fully organized except for fantasy and anthology. Fantasy and anthology are the two remaining, but our science fiction, our horror, our crime, our everyday life, they are now all organized. They've got beautiful face-out books. We wrote little stingers for the face-out book. It really, really, really so close to the green shelves being completely rejuvenated through Tirza's hard work. A little bit of my hard work. I got 2 boxes from my house, gone through and put into the dollar books. I kept about, of the 2 boxes I went through, I kept about a third altogether of that stuff for myself that I can't get rid of. I can't get rid of my Allred Silver Surfers. I love that series. Kaiju Max I kept. A lot of really small indie stuff. The Nighthawk that Marvel did with David Walker and Villa-Lobos. They're not reprinting that anymore. So I grabbed all those, kept keeping those for myself. But I put a lot of we got lots of Doctor Who single issues. We've got a lot of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl issues that you can't get anywhere else. Old issues, we're going to have them for when Erica Henderson visits in August. We also got in a bunch of restock of Fred Van Lente or Ryan Dunleavy and Fred Van Lente and Ryan Dunleavy books for that signing. It was a big day. It was really quite a busy day. I sold somebody a whole binder of Tony's Wally Wood rarities. Someone wanted them, gave him really good price, I think. about 35 to 40% off the asking price that I was asking, which was already a pretty decent price. So yeah, I think it's great. But there's also, we still didn't pay all our there are bills due today that we did not meet, because our costs have gone up significantly. Our electrical bills are much higher. Our phone has had a new surcharge added to it. And like I said, the single issues are just profitable, but they're a huge loss of space. They're taking up so much space, and that is what we are really trying to do. Alive in July is not a do or die. Like, if we don't have huge success with these sales, we're still going to be okay. But it's, we're treading water. Nothing has put us into the floating comfortably level. And this June is no different. We are, like I said, having our best year in at least 3 years, especially considering that we are not, like 2024, we had so many sales. We had a lot. We made a profit because we sold tons of things at a major loss. Now, those things weren't selling. It's okay. But this year, we have done very few sales. Alive in July is part of like celebrating that. We are alive, we're here, we're going to do some sales for space reasons. So the used books, we have plenty of more used books we can bring in. So used books are on sale for a whole week. $5 or less for our half-price books. It's something. It's really something. The green shelves, like I said, are being reorganized. Tons and tons of new stuff coming in. There's just so much coming out. Yes, Joe, that's exactly it. We are cutting to the bone, but we have so many more people coming in and looking for comics from the last 6 months than we have had ever, I'd say. When Collectors was still around, before the fire at the store, Collectors had that fire 10 years ago. But that was 3 or 4 years of our business. Well, 4 years, if you count after their fire. They stayed before Mike passed away. So it's been about 8 years. But the first 6 years, we just had another shop to send them to. That's why we didn't get so many single issues. And then we really were going up. We started cutting. COVID happened. And then we just started getting way too many single issues post-COVID because tons of people were buying them. And 2023, 2024, 2025, 2024, we were cutting them to the bone. 2025, I was trying to order to the bone. I was trying to order as tight as I possibly could. But the single issue market exploded. The absolutes, the ultimates, these markets exploded. It made a lot of people come seeking single issues, and it still happens. I have people, it's not often enough to make a huge difference, but every 2 or 3 months, someone comes in and buys 20 or 30 issues from the last 6 months. Just like, I can't believe you have all this stuff. Once or twice a week, someone buys something from the last farther back than a couple of weeks that makes it worth getting the stuff. But it's the Wednesdays and Thursdays and Sundays of people coming to get the new books. Lots of people are grabbing things off the shelf. I have 2 people subscribed to Batgirl, but I sell 3 Batgirls off the shelf now, which just never would have happened before. So yeah, now that a lot of those DC bundles are done, a lot of those books are no longer bundled as much, I'm very, very tempted to do a big clearance. That will be one of the clearance sales in July. I'm not sure how to do it yet, which is why it might not be the sale, July 12th, but July 5th through 10th. 5th through 10th, $5 used books. 12th through 17th, not sure yet, probably manga or single issues. 19th, Donlavey, Van Lente, in the shop. In the shop, the creators of Action Philosophers, the creators of Action President, the creators of comic book, the history of comic books, the writers and artists of various other projects that they both worked on. In shop, signing books, plus another sale, either manga or single issues, whichever we don't get. So, it's going to be a huge month out July, but I'm really not saying, we could always use the money. We could always use the business and support, but, but really, really, love from Lente. Love for Lente. Yeah, anyway, I'm babbling, but June has been surprisingly decent while also being so much work. I'm really proud of what Tirtz and I have done in the last few days, what Zeke and I did in the beginning of June, or getting the books organized. But it has been a huge amount of work, and the shop is really, there's places like the used books that are way too packed out, and there's other selections that I have tons of stuff that needs to go in them. I have to organize the sets. We have lots more sets to put in there. I just don't have time to make the sets. I brought single issues from home. I have an entire box still to go through, but there's still room for another 2 or 3 boxes in the dollar books because the dollar books have been moving well. So all sorts of stuff. Make your way into the shop this July. Something's going to be on sale. Tomorrow we will look at the new single issues and all the new graphic novels from this week. Until then, remember, damn it, babies, you gotta be kind.